All right, here we go. We left off on letter F, and we need to fill in this chart based on the information from the previous page. So if you flip back to your previous page, we're going to copy over the 67, 68, 69 to 70, 71 to 72, 73 to 74. Our frequency was 6, 10, 10, and 4. All right, so here we go. Remember, this is the Greek capital letter sigma. Sigma means to add them up. If I add all these up, 10, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So you should get a 30 right there. Relative frequency. Relative frequency is when you just take your frequency and you put it over your total. So this is 6/30ths, this is 10/30ths, this is 10/30ths, and this is 4/30ths. If you add all this up, you get 30 over 30, and 30 over 30 is equal to 1. Cumulative frequency, you're going to bring over the first frequency, and now you're going to add going down. 6 plus 10 is 16. 16 plus 10 is 26. 26 plus 4 is 30. And you know you got it right if you end with the 30 because there were 30 items in your sample. And now we're ready to draw a frequency histogram. So I want this column right here, which says frequency. My biggest number in the list is 10. Obviously, with those tick marks there, I can't go by ones, but let's see if I can go by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It works. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And on a frequency histogram, you ready? The class boundaries go on the bottom. Class boundaries are on the bottom. On a frequency histogram, the class boundaries are on the bottom. So flip back a page to letter E. You'll see our class boundaries are 66.5, 68.5, 70.5, 72.5, and 74.5. And there you go. All right, so my first bar needs to go to the 6, so I'm going to start right about here. I'm going to come over to here. Oh, I need to go over a little further, and there's my first bar. My second bar is 10 high, so I got to go up to the 10, over, and down. The third bar is a 10, so I'm going to go over and down. And my last bar is only 4 high, which is about right there. And there is your frequency histogram. Which class had the greatest frequency? There's actually 2 classes that are the tallest. So you have the second and the third bar. So those classes, the second class and the third class, which is 69 to 70 and 71 to 72. The least frequency is the smallest one, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4th bar. It's the 4th class, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's from 73 to 74. And what is the shape of this distribution? Is there has a longer tail on the left? Does it have a longer tail on the right? Is it a rectangle? Uniform is rectangle, or remember, normal is bell. Skewed left is a long left tail. Skewed right is a long right tail. Normal is a bell, and uniform is a rectangle. So this one looks pretty bell-shaped to me, so I'm going to say this one is normal. And we are done with that page. Next page. Give me a second. What am I doing here? A study was conducted to determine how many people get jobs. 400 subjects were randomly selected, and the results are listed below. Construct a Pareto chart. A Pareto is a type of bar chart where the bars go from high to low. The bars go from high to low. So I need the biggest number in this list. The biggest number in this list is online services, so it's going to go first. The second biggest number in this list is networking. The third biggest number in the list is executive search firms. Exec search firms. The fourth biggest number is newspaper want ads. Newspaper want ads. And then the last one is mailings. All right, now let's look at these numbers so I can figure out how I'm going to label my y-axis. The smallest number is 32, and the biggest number is 124. So I got to go all the way up to about 124. Obviously, I can't go by ones. Obviously, I can't go by twos. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 ain't going to cut it. Would 20s cut it? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Nope. So let's try 25. 25, 50, 75, 100. 125, that'll work. 25, 50, 75, 100, and 125. Now, these bars are centered on the tick mark and the do not touch. Do not touch. The bars do not touch in a Pareto chart. So the first bar goes up to 124, so that's way up there. We'll say about right there. My networking, it goes up to about 103. So I'm going to come up to about 100 and a little over 100, close enough, and down. The next highest is the executive search firms at 72, so it's going to be right below the 75. So we'll say about right there. 69, 50, we'll say 69's about right here. And the last one is 32, we'll say it's about right there. And that's how you make a Pareto chart. And we are done with that page. We're moving right along. Let's keep going. Question number 3 is all calculator based. So pick up your calculator. Let's go to stat. Let's go to edit. If you have anything in your list, let's clear them out. Give me just a second to get all my lists cleared so we can start fresh. Clear and down. And clear and down. All right, here we go. Let's start over here in list 1. And I got a 1.1, 5.2, 3.6, 5.0, 4.8, 1.8, 2.2, 5.2, 1.5, and 0.8. And I want to find the mean of that set of numbers. Give me 1 second to turn. Here we go. So if we go to stat over to calc, always hit 1 bar stats. I'm using list 1 and I'm calculating. The mean is the X bar. Now, be real careful here. You have 1 decimal place. Your answer needs to have 1 more than the given number of decimals. So my answer needs to have 2 decimals. The answers must have 2 decimals. So the mean is X bar, so that's 3.12. The median, if you arrow down, is MED. Now be careful here. If you put 2.9, it's going to be wrong because we said the answers have to have 2 decimals because you have to have 1 more than the original set of data, so that has to be 2.90. Mode is the one that occurs the most. I notice I have 2 5.2s, but again, that has to be written as 5.20 because your answers have to have 2 decimals. The formula for the range is the max minus the min. If you go down here to the bottom, you'll see the max is 5.2. The min is 0.8. And if you subtract that, you get 4.4. But remember, that's 4.40. S is up there on the screen right here. You want 2 decimal places. So you look at the third. Is it a 5 or above to give it a shove? No, it's not. So my answer is 1.82. Now here, this one I taught you a button on. It's under VARs. So remember, we're going to go to VARs. What class are we in? We're in statistics, so VARs number 5. And I want S squared. See, S is right there at number 3. And I want to square it, so I'm going to hit my square button. I'm going to hit enter, and I want 2 decimals. That's not a 5 or above to give that a shove. So my answer is 3.32. And there's how you use your calculator for those. Let's see if we can make it through one more question before I need to stop the video. The mean length of a human pregnancy is 269 days with a standard deviation of 9 days. Complete the bell curve. We learned that the mean goes in the middle. The mean was 269. Then we learned 1, 2, 3 bars up, 1, 2, 3 bars down. And we learned that the standard deviation is equal to the width of a bar. And the width is 9. So this bar is 9 wide, 9 wide, 9 wide. So if it is 9 wide, I'm just going to add 9 when I'm going to the right. 69 plus 9 is 278. 278 plus 9 is 287, and 287 plus 9 is 296. When you're going to the left, you're going to subtract 9. 269 minus 9 obviously is 260, minus 9 is 251, minus 9 is 242. Now, there are 3 percentages that you had to remember. 68, 95, 99.7. And these were the 3 percentages for the empirical rule. Remember 68, this was the 68 from here to here. 1 bar up, 1 bar down. 2 bars up and 2 bars down. This from here to here was the 95%. And from the 3rd bar to the 3rd bar was your 99.7. Determine the percentage of women whose pregnancies are between 260 and 278. So that's 1 bar down, 1 bar up. If I have 1 bar down, 1 bar up, it's the 68%. If I go between 251 and 287, that's 2 bars down and 2 bars up. 1, 2, 1, 2. 2 down and 2 up is the 95%. If I would have asked between the 242 and the 296, the 242 to the 296 would have been the 99.7%. And there we are done with that page. And I'm going to stop and load up one more video for today, and then that's it for today.